Okay, so this question is find the array concatenation value. So let's just go over the question example. So the concatenation value of num is initially equal to 0, right? And then this is a constraint, so if there exists more than one number in a nums array, so pick the first one and then the last one, and then add the value of the concatenation to the concatenation value, and then delete the first and the last in the array. It's pretty straightforward. So let's just look at the simple one. So the first and last is 74, right? So you have 74, and then you want to do the what? You want to make sure the array get updated because 7 and 4 has been used, right? So yeah, so the nums array becomes to equal to 52 and 2. So we pick the first 52 and 2. This become 522, right? So 522 plus the 74, right? Should be what? 196. So the array is going to be empty, right? So this is actually pretty straightforward. So how do we know it's empty? Since we're actually traversing from the front and traversing from the back using 2 pointers, it's pretty straightforward. And then I is going to be increment, j is going to be decrement at least constraint, right? At least I less than j. I cannot equal to j, right? I cannot equal to j. So if there is like 5 numbers in the nums array, I mean there's one number that cannot be used technically. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's just keep going. So I would say okay, 7 and 4 concatenate, right? So how does 7 and 4 concatenate? Since this is what integer, right? So we need to make sure that we add the value into a string format technically, right? So first thing is 4 is what length of 1, right? So and also 7 is length of 1, right? So I'm going to just make sure this has to be the first length is going to be what 74, something like this, right? So when we concatenate, we want to make sure 7 is what the 7 times 10 and then plus 4, right? But what happened to 52 and 2? So 52 will depending on this guy, right? If this guy is length of 1, then we just 52 times 10. If this guy is 200, then we want to make sure this is 52 times length of 3, right? So 10 to the power of 3 should be 10 to the power of 2, right? 10 to 1, 10 to 2, 10 to 3, yeah, 3, come on. So 52,000, and then concatenate 200 is going to be 52,200. So something that you need to deal with the length. And I'll definitely go through the example. So I'm using a long, so you need to return long. So yeah, let's go. So return result. Alright, so I need a helper function. It's going to be get length. It's going to be num. Alright, this is just pretty straightforward. How do I know the length is going to be what? Just keep dividing by 10 and increment the length by 1. And then you will return length, right? So this is straightforward enough. Alright, let's go. So in I, starting from 0, j equal to num of length minus 1. So you can say while I less than j. And then in this one, you say I plus plus, j minus minus. So I don't like this way since we know it's going to be increment for I, decrement for j every single iteration. And doing this, so for loop, I less than j, I plus plus, j minus minus. So it's going to be like straightforward for one line instead of 3 lines, right? Alright, so length is going to be what? Get length based on the nums at j, right? So we want to know like what is the length for this guy. So if this guy is length of 1, you know, we need to multiply. So since we are concatenating, right? Concatenate using the plus equals, right? Alright, long math of power, so power is going to be 10 by the length, right? And then multiply the nums at I plus nums at j. Alright, and then if I, okay, so if I equal to j, right? So if the nums the length is r, right? That we're missing one number, right? So we're going to say result plus equal nums I. Just make sure that we don't leave any number behind in the question. So for loop would only do for even number. So even number of nums array. This is going to be for the odd number, like odd length for the nums array. So just make sure you know what's going on. So let's just let me just run it and just see do I have any typo or not. I do. Okay, so let's do this. What was going on? So for loop and then I less than j, I increment. Okay, what was going on? Close or submit. Alright, so back to here and minimize this guy. Alright, so definitely I'm going to just quickly explain a little bit like this, so you might be confused, right? So we already know this guy 10 to the power the length, right? So it will depending on, so 7 and 4 is the length of 1, right? We replace that and then we times, so 10 is what? 10 is something that we need to time for the num side. So 7 will become 70, right? 70. And then you want to plus the based on the last value, and then nums j is going to be 4. So this becomes 74. Alright, this is pretty straightforward for the first one. So we know the result is currently 74. So let's look at the 52 and 2. Alright, come on. Alright, 52 and 2, right? So the length of nums j is what? 1. So 10 times 1, and then 10 to the power 1 times 52. This is becomes 520 plus 2. So it becomes 522. And what's original what's original result is 74, right? So plus 74, you will get 596. So this is how you get it, right? Let's talk about the time and space solution. So space is going to be constant, right? Constant. This is time. So it looks like all of n divided by 2. So you still consider all of n. And this one is going to be depending on the num value inside the nums array. So again, this is my personal solution. I don't feel like it is accurate, but it should be accurate enough. So n should be what? The length of nums, right? And then that little n is going to be length of the maximum length for each value in the nums array. So this is my time and space solution. So if you have a question, leave a comment, and I will see you later. Bye.